everyone says Toy Story 3 sucks. It does. Let's talk about it.
You got a friend in me.
Well, you all know what I thought of the first Toy Story. Yeah, if you know what I thought about Toy Story 2, that's not that great. And I think what makes Toy Story 2 even worse than something like the first film is that, while I'm not a fan of the first Toy Story film, at least it had this scene.
You are
Fucking stupid.
Useless, pathetic, annoying.
White guilt, milk toast, piece of human garbage.
Jeez, Gazorp, that's, you're pretty mean to me, but that takes the cake.
I don't give a fuck. I'm Gazorp fucking Field, bitch. Now give me my fucking enchilada.
But we're not reviewing that. We're reviewing Toy Story 3, and if you thought the first Toy Story film didn't have much of a premise, this one is definitely shit! The story, or as best I can follow, it's surprisingly kinda complicated. Has to deal with two monsters, one played by Billy Goodman, another played by John Crystal. I'm introducing them to you because the movie forgot. We know nothing about them. We're just stuck with these two characters that never ever got an introduction. Don't you hate it when that happens, Matt Damon?
Actually, this is the first time I've been on your show.
That is so Damon. They belong to some sort of daycare mafia that Lots of Huggin' Bear is the head of. The catch though? They're convinced that kids are unbelievably stupid. So it's probably not the best that a little girl imprisons the toys and makes sure that they can't escape. Things get even more crazy when the toys actually start to like the little girl, but discover that she actually may be part of a giant conspiracy about who really owns the daycare. There's a chef that gets fired, there's a critic who wants to come and destroy the daycare by giving it a bad review. There's the reuniting Woody with his group, again. There's a moral about sex, there's a romance, a bunch of colorful characters that are trying to be squeezed in on the side, all while also tying in a story that Bo Peep is pregnant and Woody is nervous about being a father. As you can tell from the plot, that's a lot going on. But it could still potentially work as long as they throw in a lot of good humor, which as I said before, they really don't. I remember when I saw this with an audience, most of the people were just sort of sitting there in stunned silence. I could have used a few more jokes and maybe not quite as much horrible shit! And the hero's journeys aren't really that much either, at least again from the Woody standpoint. I don't really care how his relationship with his girlfriend goes, I don't really care how his connection with his job goes, I don't even really care how his relationship with his best friend goes. Like, look at this here.
You don't think I was right? Who said your job was to think, Spring Wiener?
Whoa now.
If it wasn't for me, Andy wouldn't pay any attention to you at all. So shut your mouth and get them off the bed, or I'm throwing you off.
I think the scene where Woody blows up is way too out of character and way too mean-spirited. Even for Woody, this doesn't work. We're supposed to still like this guy and feel sorry that he said this stuff, but when you say shit like that, that's pretty nasty. You're supposed to kind of want this guy to get back together with his group, and in the end, I really don't. I thought he was just horrible. And, okay, I'll address the elephant in the room. I think the pink elephant scene, though entirely pointless, is fucking disgusting. It's gross. I don't like looking at it. The idea that it's an hour and a friggin' half. It's just fucking idiotic. What did the first one even have to do with elephants? It didn't. Where is this coming from? So yeah, this film's a complete forgettable dud, right? Well, I was thinking so at first, until we got to the ending, and without giving away too much, it is probably the only really good thing in it. Everybody sees their childhood in this scene. I'm gonna sound like a cold-hearted bastard, but that had me laughing on the floor. Yeah, I actually found the ending hilarious in this. I can see a nostalgic critic acting this way. I can see even a bum acting this way. But the way Andy acts as a squid kid, I think most of us have been squids. We remember what we were like. And most of us are not this clingy.
At least not to this degree.
Don't get me wrong, we go through it. We all go through it.
Okay, that's
enough! So there, I stated the moment that I'm sure will get me a ton of hate mail. So of course you must think I don't like this film.
And you're right.
Would this be the end of anything good coming out of the Toy Story franchise? Well, I'll fill you in when I get around to Toy Story 4. But for this one, I say you can definitely boycott. Knew from the first trailer that Toy Story was gonna be a bad movie. What?